Oh, hello there. I was just reading some classic poetry over here. I've been so busy lately, I have barely had the time to read. But anyway, I'm now here to talk to you again about video games. E3 was recently, and one of the most exciting things that was revealed was the reboot of the Advance Wars series. A lot of people were excited about this announcement, but at the same time, a lot of people are not so familiar with the series. So, I want to, on this video, talk to you a little bit about Advance Wars. I want to talk to you about the basics, I want to go over the gameplay, briefly over the history, and why it is so beloved. And I will do all of this in under 10 minutes, or you will get your money back. Yes, I know these videos are free, so I won't have to do anything if it goes a bit over. Well, anyway, let's begin. Also, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. I really want to start a discussion with my videos, so I appreciate the comments a lot. Also, you can share this video with your friends, your family, your grandmother, and your milkman. There are new videos every Monday, so stay tuned. Anyway, let's get back into the actual topic of this video, being Advance Wars. So, what is Advance Wars? Well, it is actually part of the Wars series. It is a turn-based tactical RPG franchise where you are commanding the Orange Star Army against invaders and other threatening forces. The series is mostly developed by Intelligent Systems, who is also known for WarioWare, Paper Mario, and Nintendo's other tactical RPG series, being of course Fire Emblem. Didn't break. There are 12 games in the series, 6 of them are Japan exclusive, and only 4 of them are really Advance Wars games. Next up, I want to do a little brief overview on what the gameplay is like. As I said, it is a war-themed turn-based tactical RPG where you lead an army on a grid-based map. All of your units can move only a certain amount of tiles each turn, and your objective is to go near the enemy, defeat them, and or capture their bases. All units of course have their own abilities, strengths and weaknesses, and there are many different kinds of units. For example, well, it's an army thing, so you have your foot soldiers, your tanks, your air force, and your navy. No Space Force though, thankfully. This all might sound like a regular turn-based tactical RPG for you, especially war-themed, but there are many things that set it apart. For example, the commanding officers. Here in the screenshot, you can see in the top corner there is the character over here, and that is your commanding officer. Each of the commanding officers have their own special abilities that you can use when you fill out your CO meter. This was something introduced in Advance Wars, so this is not a thing in the first games in the series, but I will talk about the history later. Anyway, CO powers, or the commanding officer powers, are something that every CO has unique to them. These usually give increased firepower to you or causing some kind of damage to the opposing units. In the Advance Wars 2 game, we got Super CO powers. In Dual Strike, we got Tag CO powers and that kind of stuff. So it has been evolving throughout the series on how these CO powers work. Now to give some examples on how this work. For example, in this screenshot, you see Andy. Andy is a mechanic. His CO power gives a boost to your repairing and fixing your units. And for another example, here is Sami, who is a soldier, and her CO power gives a boost to your regular foot soldiers. There are, of course, many other things you need to consider as well in the battles in Advance Wars. For example, terrain plays a big part in your strategy. In other games, terrains usually just restrict your movement and maybe do a little something else, but in Advance Wars, terrain is the key to battle. Different terrains can give you battle advantage, make you stronger or make you harder to get hit, and even weather has an effect. And there's also other things you can enjoy in Advance Wars games. For example, there is of course multiplayer and the ability to make your own maps and share them around. So that is very exciting. There is loads of stuff to play. So next, let's discuss the history behind the franchise. It all started in 1988 with Famicom Wars developed by Intelligent Systems for the Nintendo Family Computer, which is kind of the Japanese NES at the time. This proved to be fairly successful of a game, and it got plenty of sequels, four of them and on the Game Boy, being Game Boy Wars Turbo, and Game Boy Wars 2 and 3. And then they also got a game on the Super Famicom. These first six games in the franchise were unfortunately all Japan only, but that all changed in 2001, where the franchise got a big shift towards the West. And we got in 2001 Advance Wars for the Game Boy Advance. This is a significant game for the franchise as it is the first one to include an actual story mode. And people really love this game for the GBA. Compared to other titles in the genre, Advance Wars was way more colorful, way more cartoony, and way more lighthearted, which was very attracting to the younger audiences that owned a Game Boy Advance. Let's say if you bought a Game Boy Advance, for example, Pokemon, it is way more attractive to you than, say, Fire Emblem, another tactical RPG, and also way more accessible because Fire Emblem had permadeath and those games were hard. So Advance Wars was much more fun for everyone to play. Turns out that Advance Wars for the GBA was a success, and 2 years later it got a sequel in Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising, also for the GBA. Then we also got Advance Wars Dual Strike for the DS in 2005. The gameplay between these three titles, the first three titles, is basically the same. It's just a continuation of the same story. Interesting to point out that Japan did not get Advance Wars 1 and 2 at the same time as the West. They only got 1 plus 2 as a collection in 2004. After this, we also got Battalion Wars, which was a spin off of the Advance Wars series, which worked more like an RTS. It was developed by Guju Entertainment, who is known for their work in the Art Academy series. And then in 2008, we got Advance Wars Days of Ruin for the DS. This was a bit of a controversial game in the series as it was more serious and dark compared to the other more light-hearted and cartoony games in the series. And after that, we got absolutely nothing for so many years. So why didn't we get anything? Well, one reason is because Intelligent System has other franchises as well. As I mentioned, Paper Mario, WarioWare, and Fire Emblem. And just so happens that in 2012, Intelligent Systems released what they believe to be the last Fire Emblem game ever, being Fire Emblem Awakening, and that actually turned out to be a big success for the franchise and for Intelligent Systems. And Nintendo was like, hey, maybe you should just focus on the most successful franchise and keep doing games like that, and can't blame them. It worked, and Fire Emblem now is very big of a franchise compared to what it used to be 10 years ago. Why is Advance Wars so beloved? Well, first of all, it is fun and cartoony, very accessible, extremely appealing. There are good tutorials for a genre that can be sometimes a little hard for people to understand, but still there is deep gameplay to be had. The soundtrack is of course amazing and it is just one of the best titles on the GBA. It's a cult classic series and also critically acclaimed. So that is my brief introduction to Advance Wars. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, and subscribe and check out my other videos if you just liked what I had to say. That is all from me this time. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.